Hey guys, it's Ryan Gower. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Sri Kembangan, and for today's adventure, you have probably seen this yellowish white building while traveling along the busy KL Seremban highway and wondering what exactly does it look like inside. Well, today we are here at South City Plaza to check out and find out what's inside and if it's dead or alive. Let's go! First things first, let's talk surroundings. South City Plaza sits right smack in Sri Kembangan, a matured and bustling area. You've got residential areas here, and then you have a lot of shop lots, eateries just beside the mall. It's a very typical Malaysian suburban hub. It's also relatively well connected with major highways like the KL Seremban Highway and Best Raya Highway nearby. And let's not forget the MRT Serang Raya North, yes, the crown jewel, making this place very accessible and central. Also, just opposite it are towers of condos and flats that kind of like provide the foot traffic to it. And looking at it from outside here, right, standing outside the mall, it looks like there's a lot of activities, right? There are a lot of cars coming until it's like almost congested the road, and then there are tons of people, mostly foreigners, just walking around the place. How does it look inside? Now, before we jump into the mall, I need a little bit of your help. You see, many of the people watching this video are not subscribed to the channel, and I only need a few seconds of your time to gently tap that like, subscribe and notification button so you don't miss out on more urban property explorations like this. And with that, thank you so much for your help, and as a reward, here's a picture of a cat. If you want to drive here cause not sure how you're going to carry those bags of treasures after your hunt and walk up the MRT, you can, cause trust me, there's lots of antique stores here to shop for. They have open valet car park at the ground floor here, and also there are car parks levels. Parking rate here are at RM2 for the first 2 hours. Not really a shocking rate, right? But you know what's shocking? The ramp going up to the car park. You gotta turn and turn and turn. Make sure you don't get dizzy. But this is a very common thing in older malls, right? I really wonder why. You know, when you look at it, South City Plaza doesn't really scream brand new sparkling mall of the future. It has that classic late 90s, early 2000s vibe, which kind of reminds me of Enda Parade, the one in Sri Petaling. Sadly, that's not the only thing about this mall that reminds me of Enda Parade. Now, before we go any deeper, let's start with a grandfather's story. South City Plaza was actually completed way back in 2003. It was developed by Pujan Development, a subsidiary of EcoFirst Consolidate, which is a listed company. Back in the early 2000s, the region was still recovering from the Asian financial crisis. And like many projects of that time, right, South City Plaza opened into a very difficult market. Occupancy rates were low, foot traffic also not very wholesale. The developer was saddled with over 120 million ringgit in debt, and the mall started to kind of stall. They needed a miracle to turn things around. And that is when the Ip Man of this story comes into the picture. Datuk Tiong. He was known as the Revival King, and he was employed as the CEO to turn things around. As the new CEO, Datuk Tiong had bold ideas. He wanted to turn the mall into a hybrid education and community hub. So, enter tenants like Sergi College, ICHS or International College of Health Sciences. Over 4,000 students begin studying here, earning it a name of Edu Mall. They even have those from skill training institutions such as Academy Antarabangsa Clipso or Clipso Hair Art Salon. The academic institutions take up 191,000 square feet out of the 800,000 square feet of the mall's net lettable area. Tiong also has another strategy in mind, developing 2 apartment towers with 416 units above the mall, dubbed the Academia because, you know, they're trying to make it into an academy place. Get it? The apartment project was launched in January 2010 and has a gross development value of 105 million ringgit. And when they open, they even offer a guarantee on rental returns. To do so, they actually struck deals with universities surrounding them, like University Putra Malaysia and the likes of it. Such was the property market back then. However, coming in on a weekend evening today, the whole place looks aged with its faded yellow color and this water fountain and the two guardian lions guarding the main entrance, like those malls you see back in the 1990s Hong Kong drama. Coming in on the ground floor, immediately you can see the emptiness of the mall. The hustle and bustle of the mall's exterior is gone, replaced with over blaring of music and a few groups of foreigners just walking by. It used to tout having the largest phone accessories shop here, but looks like it has since shuttered for good, I believe. Any of you know when and what actually happened? But if you are looking for some very good deal to make your money worth, you can still head into this hot deal. The central atrium just looks so empty, and then you have this street that has many small individual shops and many foreign shop owners haggling, kind of remind you of those bazaar in Middle East. By the way, talking about Middle East, there are lots of foreigners flocking this mall. Almost felt like I've just traveled overseas. Most of the shops on the ground floor are also IT gadget stores. There are some Sedang folks who said that this place used to be a mini Laoyat. Not sure whether it's still the case today. Now, lower ground floor, you will see a tad bit more locals as they have the Econ Safe grocery here. Cheap and affordable groceries. Other than that, few shops that are open here are those selling electronic gadgets and these opulent looking Chinese antique shops. But honestly, I don't know how these shops continue to thrive or survive because I don't see any patrons at all going into these shops. So I really wonder, or am I missing something? Other than that, most of the shops here are either shuttered or closed for good. The signboards are still there. Coming up to the first floor, there's more life. What do you know? Mr. DIY. You can kind of find them anywhere nowadays. Then outside here, you have the bazaar kind of shop selling clothes. Other than that, you have these Middle Eastern fragrance shops. Now I know where they can get their perfumes from. And what do you know? Another snooker and dart center called QQ. Yeah, we just saw one before the entrance into the mall at the ground floor. This place is just flooded with snooker centers, right? Walking past these narrow corridors with the individual titled shop lots on the sides, it looks kind of deserted. Again, kind of remind me of Enda Parade, really, but with music. Second and third floor, you start to see the real sense of deterioration of the mall. I believe I was the only person walking on these floors, save for the 2 or 3 foreigners. Not sure if they were staff or patrons, cause they were just sitting at a corner with their phones, talking on their phones. Same thing, a lot of the shops here are non-operational or shuttered. Again, there's a labyrinth of shop lots here, but mostly shuttered. Walking here, it's quiet, eerily quiet. This floor felt a little bit stuffy. Not sure if it's because the aircons were switched off for these areas. Talking about level 3, who the heck? Wow, I didn't know you can park your private jets here in the mall. Wow, so hosei. Though it looks a bit out of place lah. But well, could be an attraction to attract people to the mall, right? Oh, what do you know? Another snooker center. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one. And then you have this convention center here. Should be still operational, right? But I don't know who will come and hold their activities here. I'm not sure. Was there a cinema here before? Because I saw from the directory that there were a cinema, but I couldn't find it anywhere. If you guys have been to this mall before, do let me know in the comment section below. At the back of the top floor here, there used to be a bowling alley called Fantasy Bowl, but looks like it has also suffered similar fate as many other shops here. Now it's just an empty shell with furniture strewn around as if they left in a hurry. There's also this antique shop. The shop, I believe, is shuttered, but the antiques are still around. Not sure if it's just a storage space, but with all these statue and the pagoda kind of pavilion here just adds to the eeriness of the place. Not sure if it's just me, because with the flickering light here, dang, it kind of looked scary. Save for the snooker center, basically there's nothing, no shop here to patronize. So let's rate the mall. Foot traffic, very few, mostly foreigners, and even on the more lively lower ground and ground floor, right, there aren't many patrons here, so 0 star. Anchor tenant, they do have econ safe drawing crowd here to shop, but other than that, nothing much unless you are here to get some Arabic mats or Chinese antiques. 0.5 star. Convenience, it is just walking distance from the Sedang Raya MR3 station, but coming in here by car is a nightmare. The Sungai Bersih Sedang Perdana Road is notorious for its congestion, so 0.5 star. Occupancy rate, total occupancy rate written in their investor relation is at 86%. That was the data from 2023. Honestly, looking at the state today, I think it's more or less 50%. I'm just gonna give it a 0 star for this. Maintenance, escalators turning into stairs, dim lightings, and many areas where it looks like the last cleaning done was umpteen years ago. 0 star. Overall, it is 1 out of 5 star, which is E, entering into emergency stage. Is South City Plaza worth visiting? Well, the whole place looks aged with the 2000s kind of design, with the choices of their paint very unappealing. A lot like Enda Parade, save for this really long escalator, which I think is pretty cool. If you are here to shop for some IT stuff or getting some cheap groceries and you're living around Sedang, then I guess yeah, as it's the nearest mall around. What do you guys think of South City Plaza? Do you think my rating is accurate? Overall, I'm not sure what was the reason for South City Plaza deterioration. I could only guess because I'm not from Sedang. Malaysia is like a mall buffet. Alright, there are so many different malls in the vicinity. You have the Mines and the recently built Pavilion Bukit Jalil. I think these malls have kind of like taken away many of the foot traffic. And of course, the elephant in the room is the stratified nature of the mall. As we have seen, many of the old malls fail because they are stratified, which means that the owner can just rent to whoever they want. And you can see this, it's just very peculiar. You might have a eatery just beside a clothing store, just beside an IT shop. So yeah, anyway, that's it for this visit. And hey guys, if you haven't done so, remember to smash that like, subscribe and notification button so you don't miss out on another urban exploration like this old mall here.